It's my great honor to be talking to Puerto Rican legend and almost 30-year veteran in the ring, Savio Vega. Thank you for talking to ProWrestlingStories.com today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you guys. And, of course, I mean, the world need to know about Savio Vega. Thank you for having me.
Well, I agree. I hope we do get to know more about you through this interview. Now, you've been in the business since 1986. What got you interested in professional wrestling in the first place?
Well, my story, man, was I was like, maybe 10, 12 years old, something like that, and maybe less. I don't know. I was surfing in some channels back home. I remember it was a Sunday at 5 o'clock, and I was looking in my house. We have a little Hitachi black and white TV. And looking around, I just found Titanes in the ring. That was wrestling from Argentina. And soon I see that, man, that was like a flash in my life, through my eyes, through my brain, everything. I saw that, and wow, I mean, it flashed my life, and I love it. I see it every Sunday. I was there at 5 o'clock watching Titanes in the ring, and wow, I mean. Since that moment, I just fell in love with wrestling.
You saw the light.
Oh, man, exactly. I saw the light big time at the end of the tunnel. So I got in love. So, and then back in the school, I started, talking to the guys. They see what I saw in TV and stuff like that. We start talking about wrestling. A couple of years later, we found out we have local wrestling in Puerto Rico. So I started watching it too. Then I started visiting the buildings and going to the matches and knowing the wrestlers. Years later, I got my cousin and my cousins work on the security, doing wrestling matches, and I want to be there. So I started traveling with them. Then later, I work as a security on the shows. Then from there, I already started jumping in the martial arts, known a little bit of the martial arts. Then from there, jumping wrestling. And years later, a friend of mine was in a dojo, Taekwondo dojo, and I asked him, he left. He left the dojo a couple of years. Exactly like 1 year later, I asked him, "Where you been doing?" And he said, "I was in wrestling." I said, "What? You were? What? You have to take me there. You have to take me there." So he took me to the place. Then, by myself. Sometimes I went on bicycles. Sometimes I talked to people to take me to the place. And I was next town, named the town as Dorado. And I started visiting the gym. Sometimes already those old-timers, already tired to be in the ring. So I went there by myself a few times, jumping here, there, doing my bumps, learning a little bit. I don't have like this kind of a teacher. They grabbed me by the hand and took me to teach me everything. I have like, I don't know how many guys to teach, a little bit here or there. The old-timers, I've been around old-timers almost since I started.
Right.
So I learned, a little bit from everybody, from inside the ring to outside the ring, how to behave and do stuff in the dressing room, in the street, and everything. But I fell in love with wrestling, I say maybe, maybe 10 years, maybe less a little bit, but I mean, it's amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, it must have been incredible for you to be around these greats, learning the in and outs. And when you first started, you were in the World Wrestling Council under the name TNT, and you had a memorable run. It wasn't long until you were fighting the likes of Carlos Colón and Abdullah the Butcher. What was it like wrestling against these guys?
Well, amazing. When I start with him, Isaac Rosario is one of the Carlos teacher. And, so I wrestled. I was doing security. He knew me from the security standpoint, so I wrestled one time in his hometown, and it was a little building there, so it was an independent wrestling, and they dedicate that match of that party that they do over there to him, to Isaac Rosario. So I have a tag team match with some of the local guys. and I was the last match. Here he come after the match, went inside the dressing room and yelled right there in front of everybody, say, "You are good. You are better than all these guys here."
Oh, man.
I just went like, "Oh my God, hey, I'm part of these guys,
Absolutely.
And he said, "Yeah, I went like, "What shame, And he said, "You good, man. I want to talk to Carlos to bring you down because I love the way you wrestle. You have what we need, blah blah blah." I said, "Okay, So a week after, we talked to my boss in security, and he said, "Put him in the front of the dugout. We are in a ballpark." He said, "Put him in the front of the dugout so Carlos could see him." So here he called Carlos. Carlos is behind the wall watching, just like somebody want to kill him. He's behind the wall watching, just with one eye. Who's there? He said, "That's the kid right there. He's good." Blah blah blah. Now they call me in the dressing room. They asked me to have like wrestling customs or whatever. I said, "Yeah," and I don't have nothing. And they say, "Wednesday you're gonna be on TV." The TV tapings.
Just like that.
I said, "Yeah, just like that. Wednesday, you're going to be TV tapings." I said, "Okay."
That's incredible.
They said, "You got everything, boots and everything?" And I just have a couple of things. I said, "Yeah, I have everything." So I said, "Well, I'll see you Wednesday." So I went there now. Oh, my God. That's my first big gaga on the big company in Puerto Rico.
Right.
So I was excited and happy. Wednesday, I went to the TV. I wrestled against the Super Medic, Jose Estrada. I did a tag team match against with one of the Harts, Bret Hart brother. He was in Puerto Rico at that time. And I can remember the other match. But I did three TV tapings. And after they see me, say, well, of course, I was super green. They say, "Okay, all right, it was nice, to do squash matches, of course." So they say, they send me to a gym. They say, "Go to this gym and go train there for a couple of weeks and come back." I said, "Right." And nothing. They call me every week, to do TV. So I did TV. I did many characters. They need me doing whatever. I was there. And learning, of course. Butch Walker Luke come to Puerto Rico as a booker, and that's when they started talking to me. So they sent me to Louisiana for Big Watch. Before he had in mind send me to Tennessee, I don't know what happened in Tennessee. So they sent me to Louisiana for Big Watch. I was there for 4 months, come back home. Then a couple of months later, they sent me to Mexico. I went to Mexico for 3 months. After that, I come back. That's when I start doing TNT. They need a heel in Puerto Rico because they don't have that strong heel character. So we come and develop it. Was TNT. He's a kind of martial arts guy. I have an afro. They said, "Cut your hair." I said, "I don't want to cut my hair." Yeah, well, bald head. At that time, I'm talking about 30-some years ago. Be bald. He's like, "Oh my God, you bald head."
It's traumatic.
So, exactly. So, well, cut your hair, blah blah blah. I cut my hair. I look funny. It's like, what the heck now? Let's see what kind of a paint we're gonna do. By that time, was Kabuki around. Was the Warriors, the Ultimate?
Was the Road Warriors?
Hawk and Animal.
Legion of Doom.
Yeah, exactly. So I started doing some paint on the papers of the face of the people, to looking for what kind of paint I want to do in my face. So I start damage all kind of heights of the guys because the paste that I was using was oily paint, was kind of a gaga paint and bullshit, So I start making some damage on the clothes, until I got the right paint. So working with those people by that time, it was amazing. I learned a lot from them. Talking about Afa and Sika, working with them.
Yeah.
Bruiser Brody, Carlos, Abdullah. Talking about Iron Sheik, Terry and Dory Funk. Wow. I think one time I was supposed to wrestle Ric Flair. Something happened. They changed the card, and Miguelito Perez ended working with Flair. And Miguel is my partner from Boricuas. And yeah, so I mean, I've been working with so many old timers, man, that I'm happy that I was there with with these people, and I got the time to work with these old timers, these legends, from the ring, and I mean, I love that era, to be honest.
A lot of the guys currently, I mean, they don't get that experience of jumping in the ring right away with these all-time greats. It takes time for that. You started off with them.
That's true. I start working with those people when, like I said, when I come in from Mexico, they needed a big time heel because I don't know what happened by the time in Puerto Rico, but the business went down. I remember I come back to work, and what we did was just have me on TV, to see how the character worked on the people, and that character as a TNT worked super amazing. I mean, was super good on the people. See this bald head guy, painted face, don't talk. I have a manager, was a prophet. I never talk. I was just quiet and serious all the time.
Mysterious.
And I just, mysterious guy. I just come in the ring, kick some ass, and put the Cobra Crunch. Now we put in like a blanket on top of the face of the wrestler, and mysterious way I wake him up. I mean, and the only point that we have to sell this character was, of course, working hard, making me strong, making me mysterious, and we refuse to wrestle in any arenas in Puerto Rico till Carlos Colón gave me a chance for the Universal title.
Yeah.
So every time it's okay tonight, TNT in such a place, we say no, we're not gonna wrestle in Caguas, let's say, and Bayamon, whatever, because we won. I mean, this is my manager. Opportunity for this title, and Carlos is a coward, blah blah blah. And at the same time, Carlos was finished another feud. So here we come and blah blah blah, selling this card till the point where Carlos said, "Okay, I'll give you a title shot. I mean, an opportunity against me. But if you beat me, I'll give you the title shot. If not, you lose, out."
Right.
And we say, "Okay." So we did a TV match. And blah blah blah. Carlos being a Superman, strong guy, I almost got him beat. He turned around, got me almost beat. Whatever. I jump on him. I put the Cobra Crunch on him. Now to put me strong, of course, as a character. People believe in that character. I mean, I put the Cobra Crunch on him. He cannot give up. I mean, he's fighting till he passed out. So when he's passed out, he's down. I don't want to leave him. I don't want to, wake him up. Referee's like, come on, let it go, blah, blah, blah. I let him go. He didn't say, now wake him up. I said, no. Wake him up. Come on, no. Now Carlos started throwing some balls from the mouth. So, oh, my God, Carlos in trouble. The referee went crazy. Everybody's crazy. Carlos, oh, my God, the big guy, So, come on, wake him up. I say, no. I'm leaving the ring. Here comes Victor Jovica. He was the sleeper hold guy, So he tried to wake Carlos up, and Carlos cannot wake up. Oh, my God, it's worse, So I jump on Jovica, too. It's like I want to finish with Carlos. Here comes the baby face, blah, blah, blah. Well, so now I call the attention of the champion. So
that's
from that point, from that point, we have the feud here, there. So now I went to the arena, and, I went almost a year straight, win matches. I beat everybody that you may name it. TNT was eating alive. So to get the characters super strong. So finally, when I went to, against Carlos, we sold out, man. One of the anniversary shows, we sold out the stadium, and next door is a Coliseum. So the half of the Coliseum by screen was full. And the stadium where we have the real match right there was already full. So we sold out around almost 20,000 people between the two together.
That's amazing.
So 20,000 some people. So, I mean, it was a great house. So I remember Hugo told Carlos, He said, Carlos, it's time to pass the baton. You know, put the belt on the kid, hurt yourself, get out for 6 months, you know, hurt yourself, whatever. Let's throw some meat to the kid, put him more stronger. So in 6 months you come back, we're gonna have a hell of a house, and have, you know, make some money. And Carlos said no. He said, why? He said, no yet. I mean, you don't want to put the kid over. So
yeah,
we went 1 hour Broadway. 1 hour Broadway. I remember we did a full finish in where I pinned Carlos 1, 2, 3, but I was holding the ropes. When I did that, the people just exploded. Like, wow, you know, they got a new champion on the kid, blah, blah, blah. So here come the commissioner, and he say, no, he hold the ropes, blah, blah, blah. And so the match continued. We went for another half an hour. So we have a hell of a match under mud.
Yeah,
Why
I saw
under
this
mud?
match
Because
today.
you
Yeah,
saw that?
Yeah, that was incredible.
I have a red pants. So, I mean, the fans were throwing mud because rain a little bit, and we are in the ballpark. Oh, my God. So I have sand on my eyes, my ears. I went straight from that ring, straight to the showers. I mean, straight to the shower. So, I mean, it was great. So we come back a week after to the same building for a rematch. Was nobody there. Nobody there. I mean, and they pay, you know, by their own words to say no. I mean, hey, put the kid over, continue with the story, put the shit strong, so everything, you know, work for the good of the company. But he was thinking, I don't know what. So, I mean, then later they tried to fix it, but it was too late. You have to fix it when the time is right.
Yeah, you should have won it in the mud. I saw that at the very end there. He locked you in to was it the figure 4, and you were just holding on strong. That was incredible. I've not seen anything like that. You know, because as you were wrestling as heel, you know, Puerto Rican fans. You know, I was reading, was it Bret Hart's book? I think it was Smith who had told Bret before he went to Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
You be careful. The fans there, they're quite fiery. You know, they had a reputation for attacking the heels with knives and other weapons. Was it dangerous for you when you were working heel? Did you ever have any run-ins with these hot-blooded fans?
Yes. I mean, the fans by that time, they throw you with whatever they have because they believe big time in the heels. And the heels was heels, you know, and they throw you with batteries, they throw you with shoes, by that time beepers, rocks, bolts, whatever they have in their hands.
Unbelievable.
And now the people there are more, you know, more into the business and just maybe one or two kids to throw something, and already the parents or whoever is next is like, hey, don't throw nothing. So, I mean, now it's clear.
It's a bit better now, but back then they didn't have those people saying stop. You know,
brother,
it was real.
Brother, I wrestled Brody. I remember I was wrestling Brody in Moca, one of the towns. Of course, Brody taller than me.
Right.
We went to the stands. You know, Brody, be a brawler, and wrestle everywhere, whatever. We went to the stands. He grabbed me by my neck and pulled me out of the way. When he put me to the other side, I just realized why. He's the old man behind me with the knife.
Wow.
You know,
he saved you
to cut me.
Man.
I mean, wow. I mean, was to be honest, Puerto Rico was heavy on the fans. You know, they believe they wanna you hurt Carlos, you hurt Invader, you hurt any of the top baby faces, you in trouble.
That's incredible. I never heard the story of Bruiser Brody saving your life. You know, I was going to ask, you were in the building when he was tragically murdered. What was it like?
Exactly.
What was that experience?
Oh, it's a bad negative experience, of course. I mean, people have so many stories. I read the other day something about Dodge. I read something about Tony Atlas and to be honest, it's, you know, everybody have their stories. Once he got stabbed there, he don't die there. he don't die at the building. He died, during the night after he got an operation. They took him alive to the medical center, to the hospital, and they proceeded an operation on him. And through the night, I hear he got internal bleeding, and he died. Of course, consequences of what this asshole did.
Right. Gonzalez.
Yes. So, I mean, it's bad, and still in my memory, because things like that got recorded in your brain, in your hard disk. So, I mean, it's bad. I still, remember. And I was the other day in Kuwait City, and we're talking about Brody, and because we have a podcast too in Puerto Rico, a radio station. We do La Radio PR.com every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. So we're talking about Brody, and we have, the guys in Puerto Rico have few people calling those stories of Brody. And we did our stuff from Kuwait City. I was around Frank a little bit, and the time that I was with him, I enjoyed. To be honest, he was my favorite wrestler. When I met him, I was doing security. I was working as a security.
And you were a fan.
Exactly. And that's the only wrestler, to be honest, that I like his style. The style that Brody has, I love it. And I had the chance to meet him, and I had the chance to work with him, And wow. One time, one of the many times, Carlos called me and said, "Hey, can you go pick up Brody at hotel, take it to Ponce, the south area of the island?" And we live in the north area. It's about 2 hours driving. I said, "Yeah, almost. I never have, a no for that." I said, "Yeah, of course, I'll pick him up. I travel by myself." So I went there, pick up Brody, and let's go. So one time we coming back from Ponce area, and he said to me, I said, "T," he called him T. I said, "T," I said, "You have a great, what is it called? What was the right word?
Style?"
So he said, "Style." He said, "You work good. You could be success in the States." He said, "Don't stay here. Go to the States and work there. You could make more money. Don't stay here." So I say, I understand my English wasn't that great, I just went 1 degree up now. So I say that guy, okay. I say, okay, and I was thinking to myself, I said, well, this is the man who's going to help me to get booked in the States, because I don't know too many people in the States, So I say, I'm going to, tell him to tell me. And a couple of weeks later, this guy happened, So not because I was looking for him to help me, or he told me that I was good to don't stay and go to the States. It's because what happened there to somebody that you appreciate, that at least look at your work and say to you, because I don't have too many guys who come to me and tell me, "Hey, what's good? Fix this and don't do that." To be honest, I just pass through everybody like, "Well, he's okay, but, he's not good, but he's okay." I say, I know I'm okay. Maybe I'm not the greatest, but I went through the greatest, and I make some to be greatest, and I know that. So I say, damn, my luck is a bad luck. We went to the trial. We went to all kind of Vegas. They found this guy not guilty, but recently you see what happened to Snuka.
Right, exactly.
And the other day, everybody was talking in Puerto Rico. Before that happened, the Snuka deal come out, or Snuka story come out, we're talking about that in Puerto Rico. And now after Snuka, that come back in Puerto Rico again. So right. It's like, in law in Puerto Rico, you can, or maybe, I don't know if that's the same law for everybody, you cannot be in trial for the same thing twice, but if it's a strong evidence, I mean, of course, he could be tried again.
Right, exactly.
So
they could bring it back
so
up.
we know, and I know, and he knows, and all the guys there know, and the world know that he did it. He cannot say that he did it, you know, and I mean, it's bad. It's bad. Still thinking that day a few times, and my eyes got wet. I remember when we went out of the courtroom that day, I went to the bathroom, and Jose and his lawyer come behind me. So I went take a look. When I turn around, I feel like they're all watching me pee. And I turn around, and here come Jose and thanks me. I said, thank you for what? I said, thank you for what? He said, for just, to talk to them. I said, well, I say what I have to say, what I see. I don't put no less, no more. I just see what I just say what I see. I mean, if that worked for them, well, work for them. But I never say nothing like, oh, yeah, Brody bring the knife, or Brody no, because I know Frank don't have the knife. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact, brother. And we're talking about in Puerto Rico, we a few friends, to do a movie around that. To see what, to tell the people how things happen. And I know that Jovica and Carlos, they knows what's going to happen.
Yep. Because
Jovica never was in the dressing room. He's never been in the dressing room. He's always in the front stealing money, from the government selling tickets. So I know that motherfucker know what's going to happen, because this is early in the afternoon. I saw Jose passing by in front of me to the dugout area, in where he got the towel on the knife, and Jovica and Carlos was sitting down there. When I went to the bathroom area, which is separate from the towers, I hear the commotion. What? So when I come outside, Jovica and Carlos already inside there. They're already inside there. When I had the chance, and I was almost one of the last to get in, when I see the picture inside there, what I see, Tony Atlas was next to me. One of the jumpers was next to me. When I know Tony and me was in there, I saw Jovica grabbing Jose by the waist. Jose had Brody by the hair. Brody was holding his stomach, and Carlos was in the opposite side of Brody, on his right side. When the picture is, when I come inside, Brody was to the right side. Jose is holding him by the hair. Jovica is behind Jose, and Carlos is in the other on the right side of Brody, trying putting him away. And Jose's yelling it, "Let me kill this son of a bitch." Wow. With the knife in his hand, I remember he shoot the knife, but Jovica was pulling so hard that he cut his hair. So that's why Brody had the chance to come outside. When Brody come outside, he tried to walk to the dugout area, and I tell him, don't go that way because that's the ring area. So I just run to the other side, to the outside, to call the police. We didn't have no cell phones at that time.
No.
The 911 in Puerto Rico wasn't strong. Like, when started, the 911 started in the States wasn't that strong. So in Puerto Rico, by the time, we don't have 911. You have to call dialing. So I went to the office, called this guy from the building. He wasn't there. So here he come walking down the hallway in the ballpark. I yell at him, we need to call the ambulance, and I tell him, explain him right away the situation. That fucking asshole, sorry ass, he want to go inside to see what happened. I say, call the 911, call the police, call the ambulance, blah, blah, blah. So next door was Menudo. Menudo was a music got kids. Mm-hmm. So they have ambulance and whatever. But anyway, it took from 30 to 40 minutes the ambulance to get there. Finally, the ambulance get there. They put Brody in the stretcher and took him out. We went to the hospital. So they treated him there, blah blah blah. So, I mean, in the morning, I don't have the way to connect with none of the guys. So when I arrived at Maya West, we have a wrestling in Maya West, which is around 2 hours almost to the west side of the island. When I get there, I just dropped my bag in the dressing room. I saw nobody in the dressing room. And I went all the way to the front to ask Isaac Rosario, the same guy that I mentioned you before.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Isaac, what's the news? He said, he died. I just felt like, I don't know. I just went like, what? I said, no way, no, you kidding? Don't. He said, no, he died last night. And then he explained he got an operation and he bleed, during the night and he passed away. Oh my God,
it's terrible.
And wow, I went back to the dressing room, sit down by myself there. Here arrived Carlos, Javita, and Jose. And Jose was like nothing happened. He sit down there, and that's when I went to Carlos and said, Carlos, do you hear that Brody died? And he said, yeah. And I just there like, what the fuck? And Jose's like, nothing happened. And he just walked away. I'm like, what the? They canceled the show, of course, because the boys refused to work and go to the arena.
Good.
So, I mean, the only guy on trial was him, but the witness, like Dutch, the Youngblood, Inverted 2, Tony Atlas, the court never sent them the papers, so they have to come to Puerto Rico. But years later, I just found out they have to pay the ticket of the witness. The prosecutor shoots. They have to do all this blah blah blah. I always say it's money involved in that fucking bullshit. What's money involved in that? I know. So they pay. I don't know if they pay the judge. I don't know in that point, but I know they pay the trial people. Some of them got money.
Wow.
And that's bullshit. But like we say, he's still alive. He's still we're still here. So I don't know. You never know when something could strike back.
That's right, karma and such.
And to be honest, I hope happen because he's a father, and that's what I remember. I told Jose when they come in the bathroom and to text me. I said, why? Well, what do you say? I said, well, I say what I have to say. And he said, I tell him he was a father because Jose just lose his little girl. I don't know, a month before or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But still, man, it's a bad situation.
It's one of the most tragic things that's happened in wrestling.
Oh my God!
I put a story up about Bruiser Brody about a month and a half ago, and it featured Dutch Mantel's letter where he kind of detailed a bit of what he saw. And, of course, just the feedback from fans and everything. It's just, the thing about Bruiser, though, he's still inspiring wrestlers today, so his impact was there. But what a shame. I mean, it's just horrible what happened, and I thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah. I mean, I wish they have the courage to open that case and go deep on it. Because I know maybe more than Jose is going to jail.
It needs to happen.
But I wish to talk to his kid. I hear he don't want to know nothing about wrestling or whatever. I don't know. But I wish to get in touch and see it face to face and talk to it. Yeah. Happy.
That's it. Well, let's hope that retribution comes and Bruiser can rest in peace. And it's just one of unfortunately many things that's happened in wrestling. It's tragic, and you were there. Well, let's move on to something a bit more positive.
Yep. Thank you.
January '94, you jumped over to WWF, and your first persona in the big time was as Kwang the Ninja. You were a masked martial artist billed from the Orient and managed by Harvey Whippleman. How did this character come about?
Okay, how I get to WWE, when I get there was right by Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. I was before to get there working for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I was there with Yokozuna, Fatu, Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Bang Vader, and we just all work there, and that's when it started, coming to WWF. So one time I just sent my hello to Scott, and he talked to Vince and said, "Hey, I got this kid working with him in Puerto Rico, TNT, blah blah blah, put me over." And they said, "Well, bring him down and see what he got." So I went to Syracuse and did my tryout. 2 months or almost 3 months. I don't know. Almost 3 months maybe. I just went crazy. I just quit New Japan to go to WWF. And all of a sudden, no work. So I called one time, kind of mad, and I had the chance to talk to Pat Patterson. I say, "Listen, I just quit Japan, no working nowhere, no doing nothing. I did a tryout. You guys say gonna give me a job. Now I'm sitting home here, starving." So so that's when they say, "Oh, kid, don't worry, we're gonna bring you down." La 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 la. So they bring me down. I went to signed the contract with Vince and J.J. Dillon. And now TNT, Kwang was a TNT with a mask. They saved me from the pain. So they say, we don't want no pain, blah, 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 whatever. But, let's put a mask on you. And his name's going to be Kwang. That's like a Chinese name. I say, well, you got like a Puerto Rican, black guy, or brown guy, whatever you want to call it. On the mask, as a Kwang, as a Chinese. I said, all right, let's do it, To me, man, I love that character because, it was me. I was doing my gagas. And the character was strong. The character, to me, was okay. How I know was the character kind of a strong, no big-time strong, but some kind of a good strong because and I did a Raw. I always say this. I did a Raw TV tapings against Bret for the WWF title, and we break the record on ratings. But by that time, so that told me that character was strong, And I say, well, if we break that record on Raw, and I remember when Raw was live 1 week and tape another. So we just, in one live show we taped for the next week on Raw was already taped. So they showed that, and man, we did, I don't know, 3.5 maybe, 4, I don't know what.
Which was a great rating at the time.
And I was happy. The match, that segment went high. So that told me that people believed that character could be Bret Hart. And I went like, well, good. I remember a little story there. Always Bret come late to the arenas. So they put, it's a match, was like 4 segments. First segment was TV taping for the next week Raw. Then the second and third was live right there. And the fourth segment was TV taping for the second hour of the next week. So we are, Bret and me, in the first segment. So I'm happy because I don't remember where we was, but was far away from the hotel. So I say, well, first hour, boom, out of here. And we don't have to wait for 3 more hours doing nothing. So happy, just waiting for Bret. And Bret has arrived when Raw started live. I'm like, oh, no. So, oh, man, I was like, come on. So, okay, well, I have to be there. So, waiting for him, we sit down to talk. And Bret just, he was lacing his boots. And he stopped and looked at me and said, okay, no chops. I said, what? He said, no chops. I said, what do you mean no chops? I said, no, I don't like chops. I said, I have to give you one, man. He said, no, just one. He said, no chops. I said, come on, Bret, just one. He said, Okay.
What martial artist doesn't chop? You know?
Exactly. So if we are dealing with a chop, you know, and he's like, no. I said, just one. Come. I said, no. I said, just one, bro. Come on. Okay, just one. So I mean, it's so funny, man. And I said, okay. I mean, we laughed. What the heck? And we have this hell of a match. To be honest, I love it. It was nice, and you know, people believe it. Brady was broke, you know, by that time. Happy with that. What the heck? And I mean, like, I love the character. To be honest, love the character, and I don't know why they don't, you know, push it a little bit more. Then later, Vince had the idea to have, you know, Savio Vega, the Puerto Rican from the Bronx, to save his old pal from Miami, Razor Ramon. That's when right there when I did my tryouts at Syracuse, we did, you know, that's when I jumped through the fence and go and save Razor, and here come the police, blah, 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 blah. You know, and that's when the character Savio Vega, you know, born, which was okay, of course. I mean, they used that character to talk to kids in school. You know, don't drop school, don't use drugs. Savio Vega is coming from the streets of the wars of the Puerto Ricans in South Bronx, New York. You know, and here I am, the big league wrestler in WWF, and you know, to help the kids to stay in school. That was more or less Savio Vega character.
Well, this marks the end of the first part of my interview with Savio Vega. Tune in next Sunday, where we go on to talk another 45 minutes about a variety of things, such as the 1995 King of the Ring tournament, where he beat the likes of IRS, Yokozuna, and the Roadie to make it into the finals against Mabel. We also talk about him being the first person to hand single losses in the WWF to The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and how he was the first one ever to take the Stone Cold Stunner. He shares many stories about his good friend Yokozuna, and I promise these stories will have you laughing out loud. He talks his heel turn, joining Farouk and Crush in the Nation of Domination, and later starting his own stable, Los Boricuas. He also goes on to give his opinion on the Clique and the ugly stranglehold they had backstage, and much, much more. If you like what you heard on this episode, please share it on social media and let us know what you think. You can find Savio online at Twitter at Savio Vega, on Facebook. If you search his name, it's the two profiles with the lion picture, as well as the official Facebook fan page. This is where you can keep up with Savio and everything he's up to these days. You have been listening to Pro Wrestling Stories Presents on ProWrestlingStories.com. If you like what you hear, let us know on Twitter at PWS_official, on Facebook.com/ProWrestlingStories, or on email at admin@ProWrestlingStories.com. If you'd like to give back and donate, please click the little button that says I'd like to do a little something to say thanks on the page. Until next time.